I'm Anthony Garcia, the CEO and co-founder of Purepost. The purpose of this video is to show you how quick and easy it is to create a Purepost professional profile, edit your profile, and then download a resume to utilize at your discretion. So let's go ahead and get started. So we asked for your branch of service. I was in the Army. May of 1999 to May of 2007. Okay, so now we got to confirm the email. Okay, so what we're going to ask is for your most recent 3 positions that you held in the military. The reason why we're doing that is employers are really only concerned with your last 3 or 4 positions. They're not interested in what you've done for the past 20 years if you happen to retire in the military. They're really interested in the past 10 years. So before we get started, we got to input a little bit more information. Again, I was in the Army, officer, and 67 Juliet. Okay, so working in reverse, May 2007, 2006, February, Fort Sam Houston. That was my last assignment, 03. I was instructional leadership at the AMED Center in schools. Schoolhouse instructor. Okay, so next position. So I was stationed at Fort Lewis, Washington, but I was also deployed to Balad, Iraq during this time. Let's see, active duty, 03. Operational leadership, and I was a platoon leader. Okay, final position. Now you can go in and add more positions, but for the onboarding or sign up, we ask for your 3 most recent. Active duty, captain again, operational leadership, and I was a team leader or section leader. We got section leader in there. Save. Okay, so we got my 3 most recent positions. Click next. Okay, so we asked for you to upload an image. If you were in the military, we asked that you put your Class A's if you were in the Army. That's what it's known as in the Army. Stay away from your battle dress uniform. You know, employers like to see a little brass, a little shine. Some ribbons are always nice. If you're out of the military, we recommend a suit or business casual. Okay, so you've created a profile now. I've created one. What we do is we orient you to the site. I recommend that you read everything. It explains what you're about to create or the detail that you're about to add, as well as the science that backs up what Purepost is. So, start site orientation, top navigation bars gives a little description, side navigation, which is going to be on the left as soon as we close this window out. Export resume, that simply means download. You can download your resume in PDF form, and you can take and do whatever you want with it for free at no cost. Skills identification and scoring, we give an overview on how we determined your skills, as well as we provide definition. And then work experience and resume statement editor. And I'll go ahead and demonstrate how to edit the resume. There's a little quick video here that provides some overview. And then last, we recommend inputting your awards, certifications, and degrees. This will be very important as the product begins to evolve, specifically the awards and certifications. So orientation is complete. So as you can see, you've got a profile that can be utilized to get a job. Over the next couple of months, specifically in June timeframe, we're going to be partnering with some organizations that are going to be looking to hire top talent, specifically veterans. And this is what their hiring managers and recruiters will see. The resume is becoming a thing of the past. It's still important to have a resume, but if you're familiar with LinkedIn and other platforms out there, employers and hiring managers, the way they initially identify talent is by professional profiles. Now, what we've done that's better than any other organization out there is we've translated all your military experience into private sector terminology. So, for example, I was an Army schoolhouse instructor. That translates to leadership, learning, and development instructor. So we've made translations of every job that you input within our platform. But then what we've also done is we've provided bullet statements. So I'm going to go ahead and get into the bullet statements and the job descriptions before I get into the skills. But we'll go ahead and dive right into it. I'll show you how you can edit this. So your military career translation. So you can add a position. Again, I recommend adding all the positions that you had, but really the last 3 and 4 are going to be the most important in the employer's eyes. What we've created here, or what we've provided, are 3 bullet statements that leadership, learning, and development instructor has been populated with. You can move these statements around if you want one to be first over the other. And then what we've also done is we've provided other bullets that you can select from. So I could deselect facilitated employee training and maybe select applied, a thorough working knowledge of all phases, analysis, design, development, which really translates to what type of curriculum I created as an instructor. And you can also have 4 bullets if you'd like. I recommend that you keep it to 3, 4, no more than 4. Your resume should be an overview of what you did in each position, and not provide specific detail. The 3 or 4 bullets should be comprised in a manner to where it says what you did, it says how you did it, and then it provides the results of what happened. Or in simple terminology, what you did and what were the results. And the results need to be quantified in numbers, specifically how many people you led, how much equipment you were responsible, stuff like that. So I'm going to go ahead and keep those 3 bullets, but what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to show you how you can update. So let's look at this 3rd bullet. Facilitated employee training in specific industry, technically related topics. So this is where that translation has come into play. Facilitated employee training. We've replaced the word soldier with employee. and we've made it sound more privatized, if you will. So I'm going to go ahead and edit this. Facilitated employee training in medical and medical administrative related topics, because I was an instructor at the AMED Center in school, Army Medical Department schoolhouse. And then I'm going to put a semicolon, because I want to put a result. Resulting in over the comprehensive training of 2,000 students. So I added some detail. Over the 17 months that I was there, we had several cycles of students come through. Did I specifically train in detail every student? No, absolutely not. But I created curriculum that was put out and trained to those students. I'd probably say over the time that I was at the schoolhouse, I had 6 platoons, so 6 times 60 students that were actually under my direct instruction. But, I was responsible for, training 2,000 students with the curriculum that I created. So we'll go ahead and save that. And that is an example of how you add more detail. We recommend that you go in there. And you can do that for all these bullets. Let's take a look at assistant department manager. That is the private sector term for platoon leader and of the rank of captain. So led and influenced, we have these hash marks here, because this is where we would recommend you going in there and putting a number of subordinates. So led and influenced, my platoon, medevac platoons are back under the old medevac, were more like companies. Had 90 subordinates, or correction, it's team leaders. I had 6 subordinate team leaders to accomplish critical business tasks and achieve organization objectives for let's just say for an organization of 90 employees. So what I did here is I said, led and influenced 6 subordinate team leaders. So I had 6 team leaders. They were forward support medical team leaders. Each of those teams had approximately 16 to 20 personnel, and those teams were scattered all throughout at least almost half the footprint of Iraq. And there were a total of 90 employees within my entire platoon. So let's add a little bit more detail to that. Led and influenced 6 subordinate team leaders to accomplish critical business tasks and achieve organization objectives for an organization of 90 employees, which covered the air, medical, evacuation, and care for over 6,000 patients. And 5,000 flying missions. And again, you might want to pull out your OERs, officer evaluation reports, or your non-commissioned officer evaluation reports, or any awards to help provide more detail to these bullet statements. And again, this is where I'm deriving these numbers from. It's not something that I'm making up. It's something that was in my evaluations. And so we'll go ahead and save that. So again, it's, this is what I did, and the result was medical care for 6,000 patients, 5,000 flying missions. So it gives the hiring manager or recruiter an idea of the I guess the gravity of responsibility that that you had when you were in the military that you currently have. Okay, so we provide some tips as well. I'll click on that again. Oh, corrections. Okay, so if you want to add a custom bullet, we provide some tips on how to do that. So all resume bullets should be concise and state your responsibilities in non-military jargon. This is very important. We recommend listing information about your leadership, technical, and training experience. Think PAR, which stands for Problem, Action, Result, when adding responsibilities. For example, state the problem or the challenge you faced, followed by the action you took, and close with quantifiable results when possible. So where is some of this information derived from? Well, I was fortunate to go to business school at Cornell after getting out of the military. And what I took away from that experience was a big chunk of business school is training the business students how to sell themselves to hiring managers and recruiters and to land that job. Problem, action, result is drilled into our brain at business school when we're either writing resumes or doing interviews. Somebody asks you a question, answer the question with, here was the problem, here's the action that I took, and here's the result of said action. So the resume that you're going to see in a second is actually the resume that I learned how to create when I was at Cornell. So we're taking top resume examples and essentially providing that to everybody in the military at no cost, which is something that I believe should be done. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the profile, and we've updated, some of the bullets. If I was to take more time, I could go in and do so. The next thing that I'm going to talk about are your top skills. So we list the top 9 skills automatically, and those skills are going to be listed in your resume once you print it off. Now, what's great about our skills translation engine is that this is a fact. These are skills that I obtained from those 3 positions while serving in the military. If I would have listed more positions, there'd be more skills. And so my top skills, a couple of them: knowledge of products and process. Let's see, technical learning, or correction, teaching and learning, technical writing. Business unit know-how. Let's see what that means. So business unit know-how, the ability to possess expert skill, information, or body of knowledge in a specific segment of an organization, such as department, division, or a functional area. Give more information here. Key actions of individuals with this skill. People who have this skill demonstrates expert in unit technical skill, exhibits exceptional unit task knowledge, possesses unit intellectual property. So this is important for you as the job seeker to understand, what this skill means so that you can speak to it. But we also provide this information to the hiring manager and recruiter, so they have transparency on this as well. So what we've done at Purepost is we've essentially translated every job title and job description across the entire military. For example, I was a 67 Juliet. I could have potentially held approximately 65 positions if I would have stayed in the military. Of course, I wouldn't have held all those positions, but um, a, a certain grouping of those. And and from those 60 positions, we translated everything. We also extrapolated the skills from each position, hard, soft, and technical, and we translated that into private sector terminology. So this right here is very important for the job seeker to understand. So take time with understanding the skills that you obtained in the military so that you can speak professionally and confidently to them when you're in an interview. Now, that doesn't mean you have to memorize these, but just understand in general what each skill is, especially if it's going to be on your resume. And one day soon, when a recruiter reaches out to you through Purepost, they're going to have access to all these skills, so they're going to know what they're looking at. Now, if I want to, let's say, operational management, I want operational management to show up in my top 9 skills. I can just take it up there, and now it's up there. It dropped down organization knowledge management. But I'll go ahead and switch it up again. And then you can also add skills. So Excel, I'm proficient in Excel. PowerPoint. Now, one thing that I'll say is, depending on what type of job you're going for, it's real important, what skills are in the top. Now, for somebody like myself, Excel and PowerPoint, it's not a skill that's definitely going to speak out to somebody, who's looking to hire somebody, like myself. They're going to be more interested in, more of the leadership and management skills, because it should be essentially a given that I know how to use Excel and PowerPoint, especially since I've been out of the military for, going on 11 years now, or 12 years. So they're going to assume that I've already got these skills. However, again, employers are going to be looking at this profile on Purepost, and by having it in this list, the overall list, it's very important. I could add more skills. For example, if I was proficient in Salesforce, I could put Salesforce in there. If you obtained any skills, through college courses, maybe you took a Java course in college, put Java in there, et cetera, so on. So I think you guys get the example. Okay, so I'm not going to show how to insert awards and training or education. It's pretty self-explanatory. Awards auto-completes the military awards. Again, have your DD-214, OER, NCOER if you're in the Army out, Fit Rep if you're in the Navy or Marines. Air Force and Coast Guard also have the equivalent. So now we'll go ahead and get to the exporting the resume. And here you go. Here's my resume. Now, if I would have added, a fourth position would be down there. My education would be down there as well. But, generally speaking, the rule of thumb is your resume should be no longer than 1 page. Now, when you fill out your Purepost professional profile, we recommend that you put every job that you had in there, because we'll translate that. Because again, the world is slowly moving away from the resume. The Purepost professional profile is going to be able to create a resume for you, and you'll have probably a 2-page resume when you're complete that's in private sector terminology. But when an employer comes to your Purepost, I think it would be great if they could see your entire career in civilian terminology in detail. But with this resume, I can download it. I can take it to an informational interview. I can use it to interview. I can take it to any job fair, And I can also upload it to any applicant tracking system, which is what the private sector utilizes to manage and sort resumes as people apply to jobs. It's set up in a way to where when the resume is scanned through that applicant tracking system, keywords will be identified so that an employer will be able to reach out and touch you and set up a phone interview, and hopefully which will turn into an in-person interview. So thank you for your time. I apologize if this went a little bit longer, but I wanted to provide a little bit more fidelity on how you could edit your job descriptions within the Purepost profile. Thank you for your time, and thank you for your service.